What's up, guys? Welcome to Life Knowledge. My name is Justin Alphabet. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. Stay to the end of the video so you get all the information that you need. Today we're going to be talking about post-breakups. So you got broken up with. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm not going to give you too much sympathy, though, because sometimes breakups are a really good thing. There are two reasons typically why people break up. One is because you decided to break up with someone, or two, it's because you got broken up with by the other person in the relationship. And if you look at it this way, if you change your perspective on it, it's a positive in both ways. Because first off, if you broke up with that other person, that means that they were probably holding you back from your true potential. And you know what it is in the future that you need to figure out for yourself. Or if you got broken up with, then that means that you have the opportunity to level up and you dropped the dead weight behind as well. So either way, you're getting rid of somebody who either doesn't want to be with you or isn't right for you or whatever it might be. So that's a positive, no matter how you look at it. And that can suck because we deeply care about these people. We deeply care about the person that we've been with. And, you know, that's the reality. We spent time with this person. We've gotten to know them. We do care about their well-being and their, physicality as a human being on this earth, right? However, sometimes breakups can be nasty. Sometimes people's worst sides of themselves come out during breakups, with cheating or other kinds of, nasty things that come out during breakups. But ultimately, truth is exposed, which is great because in the end, you want the truth. Everybody is looking for the truth. Everybody wants to have the truth and want to have, clarity and, nice truth, the real truth, right? You don't want to be living a lie with someone who's actually not even that interested with you, and you don't want to be living a lie with someone that you're not even that interested in. Obviously, there are ups and downs in relationships, and love comes and goes. So sometimes it's worth sticking around if that person is compatible with you, right? Compatibility can change a little bit as well. Sometimes, you and your partner can grow at different speeds. Sometimes your partner will be like down here and you will be up here, or sometimes they'll be up here and you'll be down here. You got to make sure that you don't either invest too much in them if they're not investing in themselves, or vice versa. Like, you don't let them invest too much in you if they're not investing in themselves. Making sure that they're investing in themselves is important, and making sure that you're investing in yourself is important, because you need your energy to help you grow, but you're also going to give them a little bit of energy as well to help them grow, because that's what partners do for each other. You try to help your partner in whatever ways you possibly can, and obviously they're trying to help themselves, but you don't want to help someone who's not helping themselves first. So after a breakup, there's a couple of things that you can do to make sure that you're okay. First off, you want to start building trust with yourself. And a lot of people, what they do right away is they start trying to fill the void and the emptiness that is created by that person being distant or gone or removed from your heart or your life. There's a hole in your heart, essentially, where that person used to be, or that space is. Sometimes people try to fill this void with alcohol, sex, drugs, pornography, or other pleasurable things that supposedly will make you feel better. They don't make you feel better. They temporarily take away the pain, right? Until it comes right back once, you wake up or whatever. Sleeping, great post-breakup. Sleeping helps a ton with healing, and you don't think about anything when you're asleep. It's so great. So when you break up, make sure you take a lot of time to sleep, take a lot of time for yourself, cry. Crying is really good, and expressing your emotions of anger and frustration on a pillow, or things like that, like punching a pillow or punching a punching bag in the gym, boxing or MMA, Muay Thai. Those kind of things can be very therapeutic because you're releasing that anger, that sadness, that stress, that energy that you want to inflict upon possibly that person who hurt you, right? However, it is not legal, moral, or ethical to do that in today's modern times. You can't physically go assault somebody because you will get in a lot of trouble and they will sue you, and things will be much worse off with your ex partner. If you want to try to get them back, that will definitely not help your chances. If you just want to make sure your relationship doesn't get any worse, then just leaving it there, it needs that's when it needs to stay. Like, make sure that you just use a pillow or a punching bag. And then expressing through crying, like what I wanted to mention about that is a lot of men don't cry, or there's a stigma about like how men shouldn't cry. Women are very good at getting over breakups because they're allowed to cry, right? Like, they're socially and as a social norm allowed to cry more than men are, right? So, and obviously you can cry in private, you can cry by yourself or whatever. Just don't like put it all over social media. Don't take videos of yourself crying. I've seen stuff like that on social media and it's embarrassing. Like, what is it for? It's for sympathy, right? You just want people to feel bad for you, even if you were the one who broke up with him. It was your choice. You chose this. And also, you have to take some personal responsibility in the fact that if you got broken up with, there was a reason that you contributed to that the person ended up breaking up with you for, and you have to find that reason. Most of the time, if I can think about it correctly, like typically when a woman breaks up with a man, it's because he's not delivering what he promised. Like, let's say he, was going to work hard or be, faithful in the relationship, or, do something that he said he was going to do and then he didn't do it. That's typically why women break up with men, because they're emotionally bound typically in these relationships. And when a man does not follow through on his promises, that's when that emotional bond kind of is stressed. So making sure as a man, you do the right things and that kind of stuff, that's how you don't get broken up with. So that's your personal responsibility as a man to take care of. As a woman will typically be broken up with because a man doesn't see a future with her. She hasn't either done the work on herself for healing her personal trauma from her past or her inner child, or she's just not wife material. And what I mean by wife material is that he can't see himself having children with her. A man typically won't marry a woman if he can't see himself having children with her and marry and go into the future with her forever. So there are things obviously that you can do to avoid that or become wife material. And obviously the opposite of that would be husband material, which I already covered. So if you want to be wife material, you just got to make sure that you do the inner work and go to therapy and talk out your trauma and try to make sure that you become the best version of yourself possible, where you're feminine, you're soft, you're sweet, you're kind. You're not treating him like your exes. You want to treat your exes and stuff, and stuff like that. Like, not taking the trash from your past relationships with you into the future, essentially. That's healing the trauma. And the same goes for guys too. If you're treating a woman like your past trauma and your past issues, then it's not going to affect your future relationships well. Learn the lessons, make sure the bad things don't happen again. But typically when we learn a lesson, we consciously or subconsciously try to make sure that we don't have to learn the same lessons over and over again. Most people just do that automatically. Some other things that you can do post-breakup to help yourself feel better: write in a journal. Address your ex-partner and just say like how you feel. Tell them how they made you feel, what they did wrong, what you did wrong. Um, just write a letter writing all of your thoughts and your feelings, and just keep writing, and then write it all down. You can either mail them this letter if you feel like it's necessary to address the issue. You can not mail this letter, and you can burn it, and it will still release the negative energy as you write it down on the page. And you can also verbalize it. You can have like a friendly ghost situation where you imagine them sitting in a chair next to you, and you have a conversation with them, basically talking it out, and imagine what they would say to you, and just like have a private conversation. You can sometimes do this in the car where like you're sitting alone in your car, and you can just talk to them as if they're sitting in the passenger seat, and just have a conversation and talk everything out loud, so it just gets out of you. The point here is to let that negative energy out so that new positive energy can fill that hole in your heart, that space that they used to fill up in a healthy, happy way. Another thing you can do is you can get rid of that negative, unhappy energy at the gym, where you can, lift weights, better yourself, level up, because typically sometimes breakups happen because women want men to level up, or men want women to level up. And you have that negative energy. Negative energy can be used as potential energy to help yourself level up. When you're angry, you have a lot more power and strength and focus to get things done. And so you can get that degree. You can go to the gym, you can work hard, you can do a lot of things to level up. So those are some ideas that you can do post breakup. I would highly recommend not trying to get into another relationship shortly after this. Take as much time as you possibly can to be by yourself and to be lonely. Being lonely is good. It's a really good thing to do after you break up and you're in a relationship. Obviously, keep your friends and family who you've had in your life for a long time close to you, and make new friends if you don't have friends, or make new acquaintances of the same gender or people you're not attracted to, so that you can just have people in your life that you can have connections with and things like that. People need people, even if you're an introvert. I'm an introvert, I know this. Everybody needs people. Humans are social creatures at heart, ultimately, so we kind of need people to survive. But beyond that, just making sure that you don't jump into another relationship, because if you're not fully healed before you jump into another relationship, you're just going to take your trash with you from your past relationship into the next relationship very quickly. So you need to, address the issues, address the trash, get rid of the trash, get rid of the negative feelings is what I'm talking about, the trash, and get rid of those negative feelings. Make sure you're perfect, whole, and complete before you enter into the dating pool, because all the rebounds, you're just going to hurt people, and they're going to get hurt, and you're going to get hurt. Typically, or even if you have an arrangement where like it's a no feelings, just friends with benefits or whatever kind of situation, it's still not going to be helpful to your soul. It's not going to ever fill the void, and it'll just make things more complicated. When you have intercourse with someone or things like that, you essentially take a rope and you tie it around that other person, and the more ropes you put out, the more you get dragged down. So don't drag yourself down even more by that kind of stuff with emotional bonds. Emotional bonding can be very detrimental post breakup. So don't do that. Avoid it if possible, even if you really want to. Take time to heal. Make sure that you put in the effort. Therapy, I didn't even mention that. Actually, talking to a therapist would be a great idea. If you can't afford a therapist, you can find one like online, probably for cheap, and you can just talk to them over the phone, tell them your situation. Sometimes they have good advice, sometimes they don't. The main purpose of therapy is to let out your negativity, A therapist is basically just a paid listener. They sometimes do have very good questions, and you can also ask yourself these questions if you can't afford therapy. Some of these questions might be like, why are you good enough? Um, what is it that you could have done better in your relationship? And focus mostly on you and what you're doing. Why am I good enough? Why am I amazing? Why am I going to do better next time? What am I going to do better next time? And make sure you have those things down. And then another thing I wanted to mention, I think this goes without being said. Don't message your ex. Don't contact them. Um, Focus on other things. Keep yourself busy with work, with school, with play, with fun activities and stuff. Don't try to make them jealous or whatever. Just just focus on bettering yourself and being a better person, you know. And the vibration or the energy that you put off will be much better. Just being better. And they'll feel that energetically if you guys actually had a real connection, like if you have any sort of connection to them or whatever, they'll feel it. They'll know that you are bettering yourself, that you're becoming the best version of yourself, and they'll see it eventually. Exes always check in on exes. There's no one that, never checks in. It's just life. Everyone checks in on everyone. Some people act like their ego is too cool or whatever, and you might say like, well, I never checked on my exes. Then you probably didn't even like them. So, or you don't even like you. Ooh. So let's work on that. Let's focus on, journaling so we do like ourselves. Let's focus on therapy so we do like ourselves. And let's focus on, bettering ourselves so we do like ourselves, because ultimately you can only attract the type of partner that you are deep down. You can only give out the amount of love that you're capable of yourself. And so if you weren't able to give out love in the relationship, now is the time to focus on you and love yourself more so that you can love better in your next relationship, or vice versa. If you weren't able to receive love or give love in the way that you wanted, it doesn't really matter. But ultimately, focus on yourself so that you can receive love and give love to the level that you want in the future. And I don't know if you guys have ever broken up with someone and had a long period of celibacy or like non-relationship time, I guess, is what some people, I don't know what people call it, but singleness, that's what people call it. If you've ever had like a long period of like singleness, there comes a point after you've been in a relationship for a long time where you kind of just like, you feel like you're like, okay, I'm finally over this person, right? And that follows with another like, okay, I'm really over this person, I'm finally over this person. And then, then another one comes along and it's like, okay, now I'm really over this person, and you feel at peace. And that kind of happens over and over and over again is throughout time, where you kind of like get further and further away from the relationship. And you kind of feel more and more and more at peace. And the more and more and more that you are at peace, the higher the chances are that you'll be happier. And if they decide to come back, or if they decide to try, you guys both decide to try again, that you will have a higher and better chance of a healthy and happy relationship. So find the peace if you want to have your ex back, or even if you want to attract a new partnership, because either way, that peace is necessary for whatever next relationship that you have, whether it's trying again in a new relationship with your ex or trying a new partner in the future. It doesn't matter either way. But find the peace, find that peace and work towards that peace, because that's what will ultimately help you be the best partner that you can possibly be in the future. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment them down below. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I know this is a hard time for you, so I sympathize and I empathize, and I'm here for you guys. So send me a message on Instagram. My link is down below, or Facebook, or just comment below if you have any needs that you need help with. So thank you guys for watching. Have the day you deserve. Let's level up, and I'll see you in the next one.